Hello, everyone. This is our first bullet interview with the amazing and inspirational lady, Maya Al Hawray. Welcome, Maya.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Maya is the first Emirati PhD scholar of emotional intelligence. She's the chairperson of Board of Governors of Dubai Carmel School and trains government employees on leadership skills. A mother of a kid of determination who had to deal with depression. First things first, Maya, why emotional intelligence?
Emotional intelligence came to me abruptly after I started and I went through depression. I went through depression for about 5 years, and 2 years into it, it was like, what was going on? And I stumbled on a YouTube video that spoke about something called الذكاء العاطفي, which is emotional intelligence. And it was the first time I've ever heard of it by an Arab doctor. And researching even more, I realized that it's already outgrowing in Europe and the United States, but it still needs its time to grow in the Middle East and the GCC region. So emotional intelligence is very dear to my heart because it really helped me become who I am today and overcome all the depression that I went through, the anxiety that I had, and obviously become the PhD scholar. By the way, not just in the United Arab Emirates, but also in the MENA region.
Oh, that's amazing. And what are the books, courses, maybe the experiences that made the world difference on the way you approach your career?
Well, I'll be honest, I'm very much of a curious soul, and I'm an academic at my core. So I had curiosity in trying to understand what was going on in my being, trying to understand what my journey was all about. I didn't even know that we actually have a purpose, or we, believe it or not, this was in 2013. People weren't very well aware, or maybe I wasn't at the time, about the word purpose, or it's almost like you think of yourself, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? And just being able to go through that journey, and I call it a journey of finding myself, really opened up my eyes. A lot of my research was on YouTube, and also as well, because that's the type of learner I am. But also read books. I even read into religions as well to understand. I'm a Muslim at birth. I really wanted to get to the real reason why I was born the way I am.
And depression is a very important topic. How could you overcome depression?
It was a step-by-step process. Definitely the number one lesson I learned was nobody will help you. You can always get advice. You can always get medication. You can always get a good friend by your side, therapy, etc. All the reading that you can. But it's really about the training that you do, that you work, that you pull yourself out. Nobody will help you. Struggles and failure is something that is very dear to us. For us to be able to pick ourselves and continue and move on is something that only you can overcome. So depression is really a step-by-step process. No matter what you do, you take it one day at a time, 1 minute at a time. Make sure that you're working hard to train yourself to become better every day.
And what's your secret for self-motivation?
For me, self-motivation it's a notion that also, I guess, comes from self-discipline. So it's a choice that you make to self-motivate yourself. Because negativity is a choice. Positivity is also a choice. So for you to be self-motivated, you really need to be self-disciplined. And internally, really believe. What really helped me to become self-motivated was to believe in my journey, to believe that I'm actually here to help others improve. And it was for me to learn the essence of positivity, the essence of emotional intelligence, how to guide oneself, how to lead oneself, to be able to lead others and produce in a world where we live in a world of artificial intelligence. So to be self-motivated, you really need, it's a choice. It's a choice.
And how do you turn in general around failures?
Failure is a big part of your success and is a big part of your story. It's what makes the story. So if we were to say what the essence of storytelling, the essence of any movie, there's a peak. The peak is how far and how much of a loss that you've actually reached to. And then the ending comes and you create that ending. It could be a great ending or just the ending, a very bad conclusion. So failure is an important part of your journey. It's what makes the journey, but it's what you make out of failure, what you think failure is, what you can learn from your failures to be able to become the person you are and become the best version of yourself.
And if there is one and only advice that you can give ladies or mothers with children of determination, what would that be?
Remember that the children that you have, they're a blessing in disguise. They are, for me, it was, I remember you go so low in depression, you think of hurting yourself. And I remember that for me, it was, I thought of my special needs child and I thought to myself, I have to hang in there for her. It was a long 5 years, it was a long journey, but there were 2 times I remember that I felt that I needed to be, solid and stand my grounds for my child. You never know what kind of blessing they come in with. And for me, it was an important journey because when you have a special needs child, it really brings the family together. It becomes that mission of the family. So you don't realize it until they grow up and everybody is revolved around that little child. It doesn't mean that you exclude everybody else in the family, but it means that it is that child that brings you together in unity.
Would you share with us one lesson you learned during pandemic?
Pandemic was a review or kind of a refresh of the depression I went through. The depression was about 8 years ago, so it's been about 3 years that I'm out of the depression. But then when COVID-19 came, I sort of dipped. The first 2 weeks were very difficult for me. It made me think, oh my God, I'm in fear, I'm in shock. I need to understand this is my new world today. Being alone is my new world. And it was more like lonely, the negative part of alone. Alone is alone by choice. Yeah. So the lessons I learned is that you need to, fear will never go away. It's how you control it. And how much you work, you bring out the best in you in difficult times. That's the challenge. Because life is all about difficult times. Life is not a walk in the park. So what are you going to do in the worst times of your life? COVID-19 was an exceptional time, but it was the best thing, the second best thing after my depression that helped me improve in my life.
Thank you so much, Maya. It was really amazing talking to you. And I believe that everyone who listened to this can sense your amazing spirit and your positivity. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.